Hey guys and dolls, and welcome into another video. My name is Jason and today we are going to be breaking down the stock of Palantir. In this video we are going to be looking at 5 aspects. The first aspect is we are going to be talking about what Palantir do and who they are. Secondly, we are going to be investigating what ARK Invest are planning to do with their Palantir stock as they have been scooping up those shares. Thirdly, we are going to be talking about what catalysts there are for Palantir for us as investors to capitalize on. Fourth, is this really a 10x opportunity investment? And fifth, we are going to do a full breakdown of the charts. We are going to analyze everything technically from my point of view, and I will give you some price predictions for the stock of Palantir moving forward. If you do find value at any point in this video, it did take me a long time to really do an in-depth research into the stock. I would really appreciate you if you did hit that big like button and also that big red subscribe button below and join this family of investors where we make money together. My name is Jason. Let's dive into the computer so I can show you who Palantir are. So up on my screen, guys, you can see the man, the legend himself, Alex Karp, the billionaire CEO of Palantir. Now, Palantir was actually founded back in 2003-2004, and some gentlemen that were associated at the time when it was founded by a big group of guys. In those names stands out to me was Peter Thiel. Now, Peter Thiel was actually the co-founder of PayPal and also worked at Facebook for many years. Now, they actually founded Palantir originally because PayPal were investigating a £10 million fraud, and they realized that they could make a service software that would actually help find that money and also save them a ton of money in the making. Now, they actually took this one step further and they realized that if they could sell this as a service to PayPal and they were willing to pay for it, why did they not take this to other businesses? So Palantir became successful over the coming years because they actually started to plant those seeds around, and later down the line they actually fell into a contract with the government, with the CIA, and it was funded by the US military and government, and that is how they started to really plant those seeds and how they actually got into working with the US military and also the government. And Palantir in the past has been known and associated with the findings of Osama bin Laden. So guys, it's a really interesting company and there is so much to talk about. So I would advise not to skip any of this video because you guys are probably going to be blown away by the end of the research phase that I'm going to go through to you and tell you all of these key points that we're going to get to by the end of the video. And so it says here on their website that Palantir was founded in 2004, as we know, with a mission to help intelligence agencies make better use of their data security and responsibility. Today, governments around the world use Palantir, Gotham and Palantir Foundry to understand and defend against evolving threats to national security from cyber attacks, disinformation and insurgents. So it's really important, guys, to know that they're not just working with US governments. They are working, like I said, with the US military. They are also working in the automotive industry. They've got case management, cyber, energy, healthcare, life science, insurance, law enforcement, manufacturing and sales revenue. So there are companies over, almost every single segment of the stock market. So they could be working with BP, for example. They even announced this year in February that they are going to be working with 3M. So if I come on here, you guys can see that 3M are a $104 billion company. So guys, these are really big companies. And although Palantir right now don't have a lot of clients, maybe they have about 20 to 30 clients right now, the companies that they work with, they are multi-billion dollar businesses. So guys, it just goes to show you how much money this company could potentially generate. And what I love to learn about Palantir is the fact that their revenues are actually growing every single year. And this is what I really wanted to point out how interesting this was. Now it says in 2020 the average revenue per customer increased by 41%. So guys, when a customer increases their revenue by 44% within a year, that is absolutely a massive addressable market, because what is going to happen as they gain more customers and that reoccurring revenue starts to go up even more. It's not like they're at a plateau and they're flatlining the same income every single year by the 3 customers. Say this is 1, 2 and 3. What's actually happening is as time goes on, you can see on this graph that they are actually going up in revenue. So the more customers that they acquire, potentially the more money they can make, and also the more reoccurring revenue they can make, and that is going to step up year on year, because as this company saves other companies money, then this is going to increase that share price, and us as investors are going to be left very happy. And you can see that the average revenue from our top 20 customers was actually 33 million, up 34% from the previous year. So we can see in here that in 2020 Palantir actually generated over 1 billion in revenue, and that was up 47% from 2019. Guys, I really love to see when companies are growing. This is really great news for us, and growing 47% is not a small amount to be growing. This year, their revenues increased from 495 million up to about 665 million. That's from reoccurring revenues from their current partners that they are working with right now. And it's really impressive to know, guys, that companies want to work with Palantir and they want to stay working with Palantir, and they're willing to increase that revenue because they know how profitable they are. They're saving money by working with a company like this that's actually, you know, predicting the future. They kind of like a crystal ball, as you see. They like to kind of predict what's going on, and they can tell people, you know, if something's going to run out of inventories, where they can go to get that inventories, or if they needed to sell inventory quickly because something is going to be out of date, then Palantir would basically come up with an idea. Why don't you contact these people, which they had never heard of, and they would be able to find solutions. So it's almost like being able to see into the future. So they're a very futuristic company, and they're investing very heavily right now in R&D. They're investing very aggressively, so they're not quite profitable in that sense, but long term, as Cathie Wood states later on, which I'll get into in the video, she thinks that this is a winner takes all market. They do not have any other competition, so they are very, very unique. And it's really impressive to know that, you know, if this company does become the leader, which they are going to, because there's no other competition, the revenue that this company could generate, I think, is absolutely enormous. You can see on here, guys, that Palantir and 3M extend a relationship to build a dynamic supply chain. So this was announced in February. So that was just a little bit of the information that I was talking to you guys about that I wanted to show you. And now ARK Invest actually have been buying up Palantir like a wildfire all throughout this dip, throughout this market crash, the market correction that we've just had, as people were saying. Palantir has been bought up in the millions of dollars, and Cathie Wood, I think, has been buying up something about 10 million shares of Palantir. So guys, that is an absolute bucket ton of money. They are loading up their boats, and they are really not worried about the short-term noise of volatility that this company is going to create. Cathie Wood has stated that she is in belief that Palantir are going to be a winner-takes-all market and a leader in this global expansion that they are calling in the data and analytics cloud software solution. So I'm just going to play you this quick clip right now of Cathie Wood. It's about 2 minutes long, and she's talking about her beliefs in Palantir. It's quite exciting.
You added rather significantly to your stake in Palantir?
Yes, they reported yesterday, and the stock was down on the report. It's interesting to listen to the CEO. He was speaking our language. He essentially said to investors, you know, we are playing in a massive space here, and we're going to invest aggressively now in order to capitalize on the exponential changes that are taking place here. So if you are short-term in your focus, you probably don't want to spend too much time investing in Palantir. So that's music to our ears, because, and we do believe more and more companies are going to start behaving in this way instead of catering to short-term time horizons and we would say in some cases short-sighted shareholders who are much more interested in profits now, dividends now, share repurchases now, than they are in a company investing aggressively, foregoing short-term profitability in order to really catch some very big waves out there. So I'm astonished. Their revenues are still 61% government, but I've learned, and I think most people in the innovation space have learned over time, that some of the most important innovations in our lifetimes have started in the government, especially in the defense sector and in the intelligence sector. So we think in many ways, and they won't talk about how, but they're certainly garnering a lot of business, which tells us that they are seeing in the future and investing in the future in ways that companies, governments, but increasingly companies are going to need. We have not been spending enough in innovation. And so, you know, Palantir's attitude is refreshing. It's exactly how We invest. We want our companies to invest aggressively. We don't want profits now. We want them to invest aggressively because we're moving into many winner-take-most markets. And the autonomous taxi world is a very good example of that.
So ARK Invest are heavily invested in Palantir right now, and they continue to serve up and scoop up those shares despite the fact that the market is dipping. They are not worried about, like I said, the short-term noise and volatility. Now that we understand what Palantir does and who they are, and the fact that they are growing revenues every single year because they are working with massive companies like BP, I think that they actually saved BP something like £1 billion in the last few years. So BP have renewed their contracts with them, and they're actually paying them more right now. So it's really, really interesting, again, like I said, to know that this company are generating that reoccurring revenue. And as they start to expand globally, they are also now working with the NHS in England, the UK government. So guys, this is really big news. And we do actually have some more catalysts coming. This week, I think 2 days ago, they actually just announced this new information that Palantir and AWS are teaming up for ERP suites. So guys, this is the Amazon Web Service. So this is a really big company. We all know that Amazon is basically the market leader in online digital e-commerce. So this is a $1 trillion company. And it says here that Palantir Technologies announced Friday its new enterprise resourcing planning, which is the ERP system with Amazon.com. So what happened is Palantir's ERP suite is optimized to run on AWS, which is the Amazon Web Service, to assist customers with data integration. So it's really, really exciting news, guys, that they are actually in a new partnership. And imagine what's going to happen as this company starts to grow in the coming years. They have no competition, so it's not like they're worried about other people stealing their market share right now. Let's just imagine this scenario. Amazon are losing £10 billion a year, and my business, Palantir, say, can come to Amazon and say, well, that £10 billion that you're losing, I can find you a solution and I could actually save you £8 billion of that, but you'd have to pay me £1 billion. So are you going to take the deal? Of course you are, because you're going to save £7 billion. So essentially that is what Palantir is doing. Now, I have gone through a lot of the reports, a lot of their websites, so I don't want to bore you by going through all of that and making this a really long video. So I'm just trying to give you guys the facts. It did take me a lot of time to research through this. I actually read through a 60-page investor presentation. So if you could please drop a like on this video so I can save you guys a lot of time, that would be really great, and consider hitting that big red subscribe button below. So essentially, now that we know who our Palantir are, what they are doing, why ARK are buying them, and why ARK are so heavily invested because they think that they are going to be a winner-takes-all market leader in this sector, and also any upcoming catalysts, as we've seen, they have just had a new partnership with 3M and also the Amazon Web Service. So the fourth question is this going to be a 10x growth stock potential? Well, in my eyes, guys, this is just the beginning. This company are not yet profitable, and I think that once this actually starts to run out, and we can see that they are working with governments and they are at that level for security clearance. Now, they have made it very, very clear that they are actually working at level 6 security clearance right now, but they are not disclosing any information as to what that segment of their business is. So companies that work with the military, companies that work with, you know, the government, they're going to get a lot of support funding and also a lot of press. So even though these contracts are closed, we don't know how big they are and what the opportunities ahead could be for this company. And again, if they are set to be the number one, then there's no telling how far this company could go in, say, 5 to 10 years. So I really think that, you know, this company, even though they may only have 8 the first 100 Fortune companies that they're working with right now, they have room to expand into, you know, the next 88 Fortune 100 companies. You can imagine how big this company is. It could potentially work with any company over the world and save them, you know, billions and billions of dollars. So I think that this is a 10x stock, and I have been starting to buy up my shares of Palantir recently once we had seen that dip. Now, I was talking about Palantir, like I said, back a few months ago on my channel. I did mention it in January, and I was waiting for a buy the dip opportunity, and I had mentioned it again in February when I was starting to purchase those shares. So right now, I think that we have been given an absolute gift and a steal at these prices of around $21, and I'm not worried about the fluctuations or volatility. So let's dive into the charts right now and do some analysis on Palantir stock. So guys, the ticker symbol for Palantir is PLTR. So that is the ticker symbol right there. Up on my screen, we do have the chart on the 4-hour time frame. We can see that we did have a gigantic sell-off in that share price, which has presented us a lovely buying opportunity. we are currently below the 200 on the EMA and also below the 200 on the SMA. We are currently bouncing on that 50 on the RSI, and that is acting as a support. I think in the long run, anywhere below this $25 range is going to be an absolute steal for us to buy up those shares at Palantir. But always be sure to do your own due diligence and research. Do not just buy on impulse because you're watching this video. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say in this video is financial advice. These are simply just my views and opinions. I can only tell you what I am doing with my money. But essentially, once we do actually have a retest of this line and we do actually start to break through this line of resistance, I do think we are going to see a big push in that share price. And you know that stocks like to retest their highs, so we could easily have a high test again of about $44, and the secondary resistance here is about $38. Now, my price prediction by the end of the year, because they are only growing revenues right now in about the 20 to 30% range, I expect that they will actually have a price prediction of around that $33 mark. Now again, we could be completely surprised. They could come up with some absolute stellar and killer contracts. We really don't know what this company are going to announce, so it will be really good to keep a close eye on the website and also have a look at any news release that does happen over the next 6 months if you are going to hold this company in your portfolio, because we could easily see a double up from here into that $44 range. But I think long term, in the next 5 years, the projected revenues for Palantir stock are expected to grow into quite a few billion pounds, guys. And if they are going to actually achieve this, then we could easily see this as a triple digit stock. I am actually putting a price target on Palantir in the next decade of over $250, and I think easily by the year of 2025 this is going to be a $150 to $175 stock. So there it is, guys. That is over a 5 to 10x right now on the current position of $24. So that is just to let you know what I'm doing. I am actually purchasing and loading up my boat because I think that right now we do have an absolute blessing to have this company grow their revenues every single year and be sitting around that $24 price range. I'm going to be ignoring all the noise, and I am excited for the future of this company. If you did like this, then please be sure to give this video a like, hit that big red subscribe button if you did make it this far, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate all of the support on this channel. I would absolutely love to hear from you. I would love to hear any of your opinions and thoughts on Palantir, and if you did enjoy this video, please let me know below in the comments, because I do read every comment and I love hearing from you guys every single day. I make videos on the stock market every day. I really do hope that you have a great and successful week ahead. Let's stay profitable, stay positive, and remember that green days are coming, even if the markets are being an absolute pain. Don't forget to have your cup of tea, and I'll see you guys back on my channel for some more content soon. Ciao.